everybody, how are we doing today? I hope everybody is doing well, of course. And last video was really hard and stressful, and I guess you could see the emotional side of me, and that I do have a heart and I do care very deeply and very much for people in general. It did take a lot out of me to continuously listen, study, research, replay, rewatch, all of it, and it does take its toll to get this information out to you guys. And for those of you who don't or can't watch the harder parts of it, again, I'm a better way, I guess, out of having to do that by watching it through me, because I cannot nor will I post those videos on here because or pictures, not just because I'd be taken down, but I understand that a lot of people can't take those kind of pictures, even though I feel it would help people really see the truth and have to face the reality of what is going on. So there's pros and cons to it, but as for me to have to keep rewatching and re-listening to make sure I get everything that I need to get for you guys, it does take its toll. It is emotional. I wish I could have finished up that subject right then and there. Unfortunately, we have a little bit more to go. I hope I can keep it together. And that I don't break again. So let's get started and dig into this a little more. I did finish part 6 today on the notes, so we are there at the end of the first group of videos. We don't have much more left, so hopefully in the next week and a half, we'll be done. There are a lot of things I want to jump into, and of course there's a lot of things I want to jump into, but I can't on here because they will come after me and take down my channel or suspend me or whatever they want to do. So I hope that you guys, if you are subscribers, please join my Facebook page so that you can at least see the posts of the other things that I do try to get out through Facebook. I might be going into Facebook jail here. I don't know, because I did make a comment on something I posted that is my opinion, and I'm supposed to be allowed to have that. And it is part of the news article, so it shouldn't be. But what does that mean? You know, because they control it all. Okay, I don't want to waste too much time, so let's go ahead and jump into this. And guys, give me strength. And also God, too. Okay, I'll wait to read the side note till I get to the part, I guess. Okay, we did end in the horrific stories about the forcible abortions and sterilizations, and we did get through one story. There is another sad story coming up, which I hope I don't break on that one because it's even worse. But again, like I said, I think I do want to read this one part just to make it sink into people, okay? Let me see where I can start at. Okay, sink in as well. Okay, I went over in this. I don't know if. Well, let me just read the whole thing because I think it sounds better if I give you the whole part. Okay, first of all, on the other page, it's like, I believe it starts out, where do these people believe they have the right? And then it's to do the things, these types of things to people. Sorry. Where do these people think they have the right to do these types of things to people? To make these kinds of decisions for other people? They don't even take the rights of child abusers or child murderers or any of those murders, serial you know what, that do other things besides murder. I gotta be careful what I say on here, but victimize women and children, and repetitively at that. They don't punish people like that in the ways that they have punished these innocent people who have done nothing but try to live their lives. Okay? They don't take any of their rights from them. I lost my place. Or child murderers, or of these situations like they have these innocent people. Criminals of the worst kind marry and have children from prison while they're in prison for life sentences. Some on death row have had children. They get conjugal visits, they get fed, they got meals, they got rec rooms, they got workout rooms, they got outside, they got libraries, they got groups, they've got study halls, they have religion time. They have anything that they would have out here, except they're locked down. But these innocent people who are supposed to be free are being punished worse than these criminals who do the worst type of things in the world. Why? Probably because the people who run the government are just as evil. So they get sympathy, but the good people do not. Do you get it yet? Okay, let that sink in for a few minutes. Yet these innocent people have forcibly had their babies ripped from them by other child murderers that are supposed to be leading our countries in the way of peace and rights. Let that sink in very well for a few minutes. Some of you may say, I didn't know. But you do now. Some awful people will think, so what? It has nothing to do with me. To you people, that's disgusting. But also when it reaches you and your family, will you expect people to say the same thing about you? And trust me, it is coming if you allow this to continue. It will keep spreading, just like the virus, just like the plague, as it has for centuries. You people don't get it. You think it's going to stay in all those other countries when they're going for world domination and to cut down population everywhere? Do you really think it's just going to stay where it can't touch you? You better wake up. Now we'll go on to the next part. I had to repeat that part because it is so important to know that the worst of the worst get better treatment than good, honest, innocent citizens. Explain that one to me and let it sink in for a little bit. This again is not what we were put on this earth for. From the Bible, God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in numbers, fill the earth and subdue it. Genesis 1:28. Let me read the side piece just so that I don't read it at the wrong time or have to pass it. Children are a part of God's creative plan. Who are these people who think they have the right to take these children's lives or from the parents? And again, what I just read you. So I should have started with it, and I was thinking from the arrow it went into the middle part. But either way, the whole thing's about children. And children are a blessing from God. So by murdering these children, what do you think that is? It's an attack on God. It's an attack on your beliefs. It is I had the perfect word for it, now I can't think of it. A mocking of everything he and we as human beings stand for. It's a mocking of God, our faith, our religions. And again, I don't care what religion you belong to, what your beliefs are. We all believe the same, just in different aspects. And we still have the goodness in us of God, no matter what religion. And every religion has some corruption in it because it's been touched by man. But you can't condemn the religion. You can only condemn the man and men and women who corrupt it. It's like I said since I was young, and again, I guess I had that old soul. I don't need to go anywhere to worship my God. I don't have to belong to some religion. Right here in my van, let's put it that way. Just like I talk to you, I can talk to God, and God hears me, and it's what's in my heart, and it's what's in my faith that matters. It doesn't matter where I am, because I'm a person who my whole life has had to work a lot. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 jobs at a time. Okay? And barely slept and barely ate to take care of mine. But I prayed at home, I prayed in my van, I prayed in my cars, I prayed at work. God heard me no matter where I was. I didn't have time. I couldn't take off because nowadays they'll fire you for that, which they shouldn't be able to, but they will. If you won't work that shift, somebody else will. So I talked to God when I could. And it doesn't matter because he hears me from wherever I am. So no matter what they do to try to break your faith, like one of the videos I just posted, you do not allow them. And you do not allow them to take anything from you anymore. I don't care who it is. Police, government, it doesn't matter. You unite, you stand strong, and you know your rights. You better, if you have to study them, get on that computer, look them up, go to the library. You need to look up your rights. Your God-given your rights. Your rights of your land. Because they are violating them. And those of you that don't know how to stand up for yourself, that's where you get screwed. So, you better go and learn them. Okay, let's get on. Okay, I just did the Genesis. Okay, God commanded that they be fruitful. Children are a gift from God to families. Children are a heritage from the Lord. Offspring, a reward from him. Psalms 127:3. The word heritage comes from the root, meaning to get or inherit. It is an honor and responsibility to be entrusted with a little one from God. We stand beside him to shepherd their growth and development, to advocate for them, to provide for their needs while they're in our care. Children need nurture and guidance. Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old. He will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. When planting vines and some bushes, gardeners will attach them to a framework, like a pole or trellis, to keep them from spreading out of control. Kids need solid structure to keep their physical, emotional, and social and spiritual growth on track too. This means we are present in their lives, supporting their growth and development and leading by our godly example. I put this in here so you can see this is the work of evil. This so-called, I think it's supposed to be these so-called people are doing. Oh, no, it is this. Sorry. I put this in here so you can see this is the work of evil. This so-called people are doing. This is, I skipped a word somewhere in there. Sorry. Trying to fix it. But anyways, I put it in there because you guys need to see that this is evil. This is evil at its best. It's working to destroy you. It's working to destroy your relationship with God. Whenever you want to put evil on a throne or give it power in this world, what are you going to do? You're going to destroy everything good in it. And you're going to mock everything good in it. And you're going to create as much sin, because the more sin people create and the more sin that people do, you open doors to evil to the world. And again, if you believe in goodness and evil and God and the devil, then you know what I'm saying. If you don't, you still have to have some kind of knowledge of, if you surround yourself with good things happen. If you surround yourself with evil happens. Whether it's good and evil or just good karma and bad karma or good things and bad things, it doesn't matter. But the point is the more evil they keep bringing into the world and doing, it's everything that's been taught to you or told to you. And it really, if you don't believe, you need to believe. Because the whole thing here about being on this earth is about good and evil. It's about the Bible telling you many centuries ago what was going to happen today, and it's happening. Even the protocols that were written centuries ago in the beginning of time by these evildoers, when they were making the plan to someday take over the world. It's that old in documents, in ancient documents from the people who are here planning this. And we are here at that stage where you need to decide whether you want good in this earth or evil. And it's a fight. It's also a fight between government trying to take total control and make slaves out of us once again, which you've seen repeat in history. You've seen it repeat. And we've went over it in many of my videos and other people's videos and history itself. Just because you weren't given the full history by your evil doing teachers, your government, that's the best evil plan there is to teach somebody a false history, way of living, put BS into their minds. That is what the best of the best criminals in the world do. Like when they hold somebody captive, which is what we've been. You think you've been free? You don't even know what free is. They hold them captive and they put scenarios in their mind, make them even care for them, their captive, and love their captive and respect their captive. To the point that some victims will actually pull a gun on the police or whoever tries to rescue them and stand up for the captive instead of saying, hey, I'm here, save me. They take up for the captive. Same thing. We've been captive by this government. and we've been brainwashed, and we've been made to believe that everything that's been put in our heads from birth till now was absolutely 100% correct. Wrong. It wasn't. It was what they want you to believe. I'm going to fix my lips, or my chaps. It's actually lip gloss. That's why it starts taking more than chapstick, but I'm out of chapstick, so let's see. Okay, so anyways, we'll go on from right now, because we'll get into it later on after everything. We're going to talk about everything when I'm done with this. We're going to go deeper into it. But I just need y'all to see, this is why I'm going into that depth of everything. Because that is what they're doing. They're getting you to see what they want you to see, so that they can pry you away from, look what they're, here, let's, one more second, okay? Look what they're doing with religion. You're not allowed to go, even on Easter Sunday, they went and attacked, as you can see in one of my other videos, gatherings, masks, not masks, it doesn't matter, indoor, outdoor, it doesn't matter. They don't want people together, because they don't want people uniting. They want to separate people, which is what a lot of this is about. They, on the holiest of holiest days, they tried to stop people from doing what they're supposed to do and worshiping their Lord. They don't want people meeting up and going to the temple or to the churches or to their, wherever they meet and have gatherings. They don't want people congregating at all. So that's a way to break up the relationship of people, which then people won't unite and stand up for their rights. They want to break down their belief in God, because that makes you a weaker soul. If they destroy your faith, they destroy you and they destroy God. Murdering babies is the worst thing that you could do on the face of this planet. Just like most people believe that, you know, the people sitting in jail that do bad things to children, and then women, but children is the number one, they have no respect. They usually have to worry about their life being threatened, which is sad. That's even changed in the prisons. They're more accepted now than ever. But the fact is, it used to be that way. But yet we got child murderers walking all over our government and our country. Free to keep doing it. And you'll see more and more as we get into it. So, anyways, let's get back to this, and then we'll go back into that at the end. Alright, where was I? I want this to turn off. Okay. Okay, proverb. When planting... Oh, no, I was where I was explaining it. Where was I? I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. You know what? Let me just start reading, because I can't find my spot. I did a whole page instead of breaking it up. So now I'm lost, and I don't want to take forever trying to find it. Okay. Proverbs. Planting in some garden and keep up with some controls. Oh, I think I found it. Okay. Attach them to the framework like a pole. Keep them from spreading out of control. Okay. Kids need solid structure to keep their physical, emotional, and social and spiritual growth intact too. This means they're present in their lives. I did read this. Okay. Their growth and development and leading is, okay, I put this in here. I found it. I put this in here so you can see this is the work of evil. The so-called people may do. Okay. They are spreading evil, hate, murder, committing murder, and for some reason getting away with it. Mocking God. Trying to wipe away anything good, anything godly, while pushing and doing the devil's work. And people don't see it or don't want to see it. Come on, really, people? Again, providing the fight for, proving, really, again, proving the fight for this earth and the people on it have to be decided whether you are going to fight on what side, the good or the bad. And now, good or evil. I choose good. They will not wipe away God so easily. Not with me. I hope they can't with you either. We will fight to stop all this evil. You tell me who and what side you will choose. Leave it in the comments below and with what you think, feel, or your thoughts, etc. Okay, but before I do that part, let me put one more thing into here, on here, sorry. Okay. There's a couple other, you know what, I want to read them, but I might just, I don't know if I should post them or read them, or just post them in the video. I might just do a little bit of both. Let me see. This one I definitely want to read on here. Okay. The way they are, they're backwards. So, children are blessed by God. And I'm going to put that in the video so you can read it, so I don't have to read the whole thing, but you get my point. Children are blessed by God. And he took the children in his arms, placed his hand on them, and blessed them. The rest I'm going to put up in the video. And then, because I know I'm getting on with time. The other one was orphans, displaced, and refugee children and children living in poverty need special care. Do not oppress the widows or the fatherless, the foreign, or the poor. Again, and that's exactly, and that's why I wanted to bring that one up more than any other one. That is exactly what these evildoers are doing. It's a mocking of God and who you are and what you believe in. Again, orphans, displaced, and refugee children and children living in poverty need special care. Do not oppress the widow or the fatherless or the foreign or the poor. Those are God's words. And those are exactly everything that these evildoers are doing. It's everything that I've read to you. So God led me to this. God did. Because I prayed and prayed for the right words and to find a way to reach people. And he gave me the answer. He gave me the answer. And right there says everything that I've been saying to you and going over with you and trying to explain to you on how evil is doing such... I don't even know how to explain this, but it's doing everything to hurt you and take you down and destroy the people and destroy the lands. And you can't allow darkness to start running this world. Everything God has said, they are doing the opposite of. Love one another. You're not loving one another because the government has you hating one another. He said to be fruitful and spread the love and the fruit and subdue the earth. And instead, they're murdering our children. And it's not supposed to be about greed and money and power, which is what they're about. It's supposed to be about living happily, peacefully, and lovingly. Everything God put us on this earth to do, they are undoing. They are making it not about nothing but money, greed, power, and destruction, control, devastation. And I could go on and on and on. But it's evil. And you have to do as you believe and been taught by God, and stand up and not allow these people to take over your mind and your will and your faith. That's what you were put on this earth to do. To fight all of those temptations and to fight all the what are the words? God, give me the words. The evilness that they want to put inside your mind, your body, and just draw you into wanting the same things they want and being as rich and powerful and greedy and evil as they are. Because to get there, you have to do bad things. Usually to climb the ladder, you have to do bad things. Look at Hollywood. If you don't, you know what with the producers, and you don't, you know what with this person and that person, you don't climb the ladder. Look how many people have come forward about abuse in Hollywood. Abuse, drug use, and abuse that led to drug use, and alcoholism, and this and that. It's all corruption. If you want that kind of life, it comes filled with corruption. And a lot worse. And now it's come down to murdering babies instead of helping another country grow because it has what we need, and giving them money for what we want. They're going to steal it. And in so, trick them into locked rooms and kidnapping and forcefully ripping out their insides and their children. It's murder. These people should be locked up or in an electric chair somewhere, frying, because they're evil. They're not even considered people to me. They're demons. They are demon-filled. They have let the evil in. Come on, people. You got to see that. Okay, now let's get back to exposing the evil. Okay. That is going on out there by these evildoers. The example that I will give you the examples that we give you go on and on and on. In every less developed country, the UN, let me put the paper up because I can see through it and then it messes me up. In every less developed country, the UN's concern was not with development, health, or women's empowerment. They didn't care about any of that. They didn't want to help development. They didn't want to help with health. They didn't want to help with women's empowerment. If so, they wouldn't be sterilizing women in unsanitary conditions and allowing them to get infected and die or murder their children. If they wanted to help the development, then they would have given them the money that they were buying their stuff from. But instead of buying it, which is what we're told, that's where our money is going, to buy the stuff. So where's our money going? They always say we got to raise the price of gasoline because we need this and that from overseas, and it costs a lot of money to get it from here. No, they don't, because they're stealing it. They're stealing it. So where's our money going? So they have our money and they have their product. Where's it make sense to you people? Okay, so the UN was not with development, healthcare, or women's empowerment, but with reversing the unchecked growth of the world's population. 1 in 3 women has been sterilized. 1/3 did not give their informed consent. From the very beginning, the concept of a population explosion was a false alarm, specifically designed to allow rich nations to pillage, not make deals with, pillage the resources of the poor nations. And Kissinger, he just laid out the protocols of Zion for modern times. Who is Kissinger really? He was born in 1923 in southern Germany, right at the cabal center of Bavaria. His full name, I may not get this right in pronunciation, and I definitely don't even know how to say this first name. It's Heinz. Heinz Alfred Kissinger. He claims to be Jewish, but his credentials show all the signs of Khazarian roots. His family's name wasn't Kissinger. It was, and I hope I remember how to say this right, but it's Loeb. The name Kissinger was adopted in 1817 by his great-grandfather. 1817, Mayor Loeb, or Loeb, I think it's Loeb. After the Bavarian town Bad Kissinger in Germany. The name Meyer Loeb struck a chord. Hadn't we seen that name before? Meyer I forget how to say these guys' names too, but you go back and you'll be able to see it in my other videos. Aschel Rothschild, great-grandfather, was Loeb Rothschild, Mayer Rothschild, Loeb Rothschild, Mayer Loeb Kissinger, or Loeb, sorry, Kissinger. Here's a clue. Big clue. Common signs you see. All these people involved always end up with different names, aliases. They always lead back to the cabal and the same families. Always. Whenever we tell you, we find a name that doesn't fit, but we find it in the later generation or earlier generations, however you want to say it. The past generations, I'll put it that way. They always end up related to one of these family members. All these aliases lead back. And, of course, we think he's a Rothschild. And you'll go back and see, and I'm going to put the little pictures up here so you can see the names, so you may know how to pronounce them better than me. I can't do some of these older names, or names from other countries. So, anyways, the Loeb Rothschild is from in the beginning of my series of this, and it's funny that he has the same name and changed it with Kissinger. Okay, we wouldn't be surprised if one day, if the truth will be presented, Henry Kissinger is a Rothschild. And I'm going to leave it right there because I'm at around that time. I still maybe got 5 minutes, but I don't know if I start into, well, I'll read this last paragraph if it has something to do. Now, I think the next one is going to go into something different. So we finished up at least about the children. We are going to, because I also have to add some pictures in here, so I know that's going to take up time, and I'm right there. So, start here. So we got through the end of the children's and the forced abortions and all that horrible stuff, and then I'm gonna put in a lot about this Kissinger and Rothschild, and I know I had another story. I thought that was maybe I already said it. I was just so upset I forgot about it. But there was another horrible story. I believe I might have already read it. I just wanted to bring that up because I said it in the beginning that we had one more story about the forced abortions, but I think I might have already done it. I was praying I was over that whole subject. It was just horrible. And it was, I believe I already did it. And it was about the woman who, after they sterilized her and took her baby out, they actually showed her with the tweezers the baby's foot. Like, who does that? And I think I remember reading it to you now. It was just it's so horrible. How do you do that? How are you human in that way? I just can't see anybody with any kind of humanity in them to do the things that have been done to these poor women and babies. And that there's more in here. It's not about the forced abortions anymore, but it's what they do with the babies afterwards. And that's just another sick thing the government is into. And that's coming soon. It may start in tomorrow's notes. And we'll get more into Kissinger, and we'll get more into Mr. Trump and what he was trying to do that the people didn't know about. that they really need to know about. Because the government played a very good, like I said, trick. And they got people to turn on Trump and put in one of their demonic leaders himself. And he's doing everything he swore he was not going to do. And he is doing everything that the people thought he wasn't going to do. So how do you, I don't know, how do you feel about being tricked again by some evildoer? You guys had somebody in there doing right for America, and you allowed the government to trick you again. It's a sad day. It's a very sad day. And we'll get into more of that as we go on. Again, I would love some feedback. I would love you guys to talk to me. Let me know what you feel, how you think. Tonight was a very, to me, short but interesting video. Tomorrow we'll get more in depth with the end part of 6. And then we'll be moving on to the next actual chapter in this. So I'm just glad it was a lot easier for me tonight, where it wasn't so sad and heartbreaking. But you guys have a great night. I'm going to go edit this and throw it on there. Please have a great night. I love you guys. Stay with me. Send some people my way. Let's keep this going. And it's time to start fighting back. The more people I can get on here, the more people we need to start talking. Just like the pastor said in my last video, my short one, we need to unite and start fighting back. Enough is enough. And I'll leave you with that. You guys have a great night. I love you. Take care. And I'll see you on my next video.